What is going on, true believers? I hope you're having a good morning. I am still dealing with these issues. I just bought a new NIC card for this. I bought a brand new laptop or a new desktop. So it might be a little bit sketchy for the next 24 hours or so, but I should get this installed. It's going to be here. Ordered it on Amazon yesterday. I started reading up on the card that I have. It's no good. So getting a good one. And so if it's okay today, I made some changes to it, which I thought were going to enhance the Wi-Fi streaming, but I don't know for sure. It might still suck. So if it does, my bad. If it doesn't, I told you. And if it's worse tomorrow, I bought something to make it worse. I didn't mean to. I meant to make it better. So make sure you hit the like button on the way in. We got a lot to go over. Ken Paxton has sued the Biden-Harris administration over unlawful crypto regulations. Wait a minute. Ken Paxton, are you stupid? Everybody in America who's not in Texas asked. And the answer to that is yeah. Why didn't he do this a year ago? Why, this is posturing, this is grandstanding. This is what you get. This is what you get. Scott Bessent is now the nominee for Donald Trump. And look, this is a shout out, by the way. This is the first openly gay man to be nominated for a major position in government. So this is really interesting times, by the way. So we'll see how this all plays out, but interesting times right now. So also, Justin Sun bet $30 million on World Liberty Financial, which is absolutely donkey brain. I look. By the way, remember the goal was $30 million for World Liberty Financial, and they got somewhere in the neighborhood of like $1 or $2 million because they saw it was just absolutely a scam. Or it was 300 million. It was 300, whatever the number was. It was just gigantic. Justin Sun stepped in because Justin Sun has billions of dollars to just throw. Also, Binance has completely delisted a few cryptos. We'll talk about that. Can Solana take off, go to 500? Will it surge? I told you guys last week that Solana was in line right now for a $400 move. Will that happen? I think the answer to that is going to be unequivocally maybe. Medical opinion. So we'll see what happens, but I think I'm right. Cough for me. Oh, cough for me. Anyway, I think that's right. Bitcoin is almost to the buy zone. I'm going to give you a couple of buys. We're going to spend more time on the charts today and less time on the me talky, say wordy wordies. So get ready, strap on, strap in, just strap yourself with something. I don't know. I mean, whatever. I'm not gay. You're gay. It's not financial advice, but I'm always right.
It's your boy Bleed. Everybody listen up. Let's get it. I'm trying to put money in your pocket. That crypto wallet. That bing bada bing ching ching big profit. Even when the market's sideways, I'm looking for ways to get paid. I'm checking my coins around breakfast, then again around bedtime. Bet this, it's not financial advice, but I'm always right. 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 I'm always right.
All right, guys, there's a few questions coming around. Make sure, again, you hit the like button. But Scott Bessent, did he pay $7 million to Donald Trump to become the U.S. Treasury Secretary? I would say that the answer to that is probably not in cash, but I'm sure he made a significant donation, and that's probably why. And look, I would not like to see something like that happen. Okay. I don't want to see people buying and paying for their government. But if you guys are talking this kind of shit right now and you're not pointing your finger at Elon Musk, you're not serious about this anyway. So keep that shit to yourself. Elon Musk, put up $1 million a day to buy voters. So you can say whatever you want about Scott Bessent, but at the end of the day, they're all doing it. Donald Trump is using his considerable sum of grift ability. By the way, he's not putting his own money into this. I think we should acknowledge that. Millionaire being run by billionaires. They're all millionaires being run by billionaires. The fact that you don't see it until now, you're watching it play out real time. Here's the thing. I don't think it's not a big deal. Look, it's not a big deal. Here's the thing. Everybody is entitled to have people around them that they trust. And if you go back in 2016, look, I'm not on the Trump train. I will never be on the Trump train. Okay. But he hired Rex Tillerson from Texaco or something like that. And it was a bad move, right? He hired a whole bunch of different people, rhinos, if you will. And by the way, they're not rhinos in the typical context. And that's me. For those of you who don't know, that's Republican in name only. They were actual Republicans, actual conservatives. They weren't populist people like the Republican Party has become. Okay. So, but the point is, they like business the way they like business. They're not worried about all of the stuff that you guys might be worried about. You know what I mean? I drove by his house the other day. I drove by his street the other day, and I didn't go down the street, but yeah, I got close. You know what I mean? I got close. I was gonna go knock on the door and be like, "Hey, dude, what's going on?" But anyway, but if anybody wants to know where he lives, I can't dox somebody, but I can tell you how to find it. Anyway, so the point of this all is Trump won the election. He is entitled to have people that he trusts around him. Okay. That's what we should be looking at right there. He was the one that like he should be able to get whoever he wants. And if he gets money for those people, oh, well, you know what I mean? Now, Michael Flynn is a psycho. Michael Flynn is a psycho. Steve Bannon is an idiot. I'm not really worried about those people. January 6th people. Look, you shouldn't have gone on personal. You shouldn't have attacked. You shouldn't have done all of the things that you did. You shouldn't have tried to hang Mike Pence and stuff. And I know, by the way, that you're just sheep. You're just sheep. You just followed the herd, and it wasn't your fault. It was all Antifa. But I think we should just give pardons to everybody and move on, because continuing to fight a fight that half of us at least think is absolutely ridiculous. And look, it doesn't matter if you're an idiot that's uneducated and you can't spell anything really good, but you also like to think that the election was stolen. Then, and that's the way you talk in my brain if you say dumb shit like that, right? Look, people don't like Donald Trump, polarized by Donald Trump. So, hey, and look, hey man, look, here's all I can say. Okay. You voted for it. I told you I don't like him, that I don't respect him, that I think that he's a crook. He's a different type of crook than the typical crooks that are in office. And that might be better ultimately, but he's still a crook. Nobody act surprised, please, that the person that you voted for, who gives a shit? Look, there's 4 years. So get over it, deal with it. You know what I mean? And we will be better for this 4 years. Okay. It doesn't really matter. Every single person in government at a high level is on the take. They're crooked in some way. Okay. Now, look, you might be to yourself like, no, Donald Trump, he wants everything and only wants to do the good thing for me. And you might be saying that again. That's how you talk in my brain. But if that were the case, why is he selling NFTs if he's a billionaire? Why is a billionaire selling NFTs? Why is a billionaire doing World Liberty Financial? I mean, give me a fucking break. Come on, guys, grow up and use your brain. not the I don't like people who are cut their wee-wees off brain. I mean your think brain, not your emotion brain. It doesn't matter. Look, Trump won. Just get over it. You know what I mean? He's going to make mistakes along the way. He's going to make fixes along the way. There's going to be good. There's going to be bad. There's good and there's bad with every single president, no matter what. And sometimes you don't want to see it because it's on a different party, but you don't want to see the good things that a president does. But I mean, look, it's still going to be good. It's still going to be bad. Just get over it. And, you know, we'll see what happens here. I think that anybody who says that everything that's happening is a threat to democracy is an idiot, because I think we have a pretty strong system and I think we'll be fine. And I think, by the way, that this is probably the end of MAGA as we know it, that it will evolve into something a little less cringe and a little more socially acceptable over the next 4 years. I think that MAGA will just kind of absorb, like Vivek Ramaswamy, a little more suave, debonair sort of guy here instead of Donnie Dingbat. Like, I think that we'll get some people in who we actually look at and say, yeah, I actually respect this guy. This guy's talking, he's not talking like a clown show idiot. Do you know what I'm saying? So I think it'll evolve and it'll be different. And then Democrats will probably look at it and be like, oh my God, we better get better at our messages. And then we'll start to see them back off of, hey, cut that off. Why are you even trying to use that to pee? You know what I mean? Like, the wild stuff that we've been seeing won't be happening there as much. Okay. And look, I mean, be sensitive about it, but also say, yeah, that's creepy. You know what I mean? So let's move on. Again, make sure you hit the like button on the way in. I do see that you know, the connection is unstable. Anyway, so there might be some glitching still here, but again, I got a new one coming in, so you know, hopefully this will be a lot better. But let's get into the show here, and let's start off with Attorney General Ken Paxton for Texas sues the Biden-Harris administration over unlawful crypto reg. Okay. A press release from the Texas Attorney General's office claims that the new SEC rules require digital asset platforms to register as security exchanges, dealers, brokers, and clearinghouses. The filing argues that these mandates impose federal security law compliance on platforms, even though such regulations are not outlined in existing statutory text. Perfect. By the way, where the f were you a year ago? Like, this is it. This is why I don't respect a lot of these Republicans. Okay, Ken Paxton, by the way, this to me is silly nonsense, because what he's looking to do is he doesn't care about you. And I'm going to be very, very specific about this. Ken Paxton doesn't give a shit about you. He doesn't give a shit about protecting you. He doesn't respect you. He doesn't care about you. What he cares about is signaling to MAGA that he's taking care of everybody, that he's the guys for Donald Trump because he has political aspirations. I'm telling you this right now because I don't want you to be surprised when Ken Paxton becomes the new Attorney General for the United States in a couple years, or in a year, or something like that. That's the kind of thing that's going to happen. Why? Because what he's doing is he's trying to give Donald Trump a clear win. And what he's doing is he's going to file this lawsuit, and then Donald Trump is going to step in on January 20th. On January 21st, he's going to repeal some of these things, or within a week or so, he'll repeal some of these things. And then Ken Paxton will say, I just want to give a shout out to my man, Donnie Trump. And I think that it's just so good. It's so delicious. I mean, it's so great. It's so great to see that happen. Do you notice how I'm doing the Trump dance, by the way? That he's doing this and he's saving us all, and he's just doing it to get a job. Okay, so I don't respect this. But press release, however, the SEC claims such regulations are authorized by the Securities Act of 1933 and the Exchange Act of 1934. The filing argued that nearly centuries-old laws cited by the SEC were not designed to address digital assets such as cryptocurrencies. The press release further stated that the SEC's regulatory actions are described as exceeding its legal authority and violating the Administrative Procedure Act. Remember SAB 121, where they put the staff accounting bulletin saying that you cannot have crypto on your portfolio if you are a bank and stuff like that? There's nothing in the law that says that. So what they had to do is they had to create their own law to tell you that you couldn't do that. And SEC can't do that. They cannot do that. They don't have that authority. Federal bureaucrats have no authority to dictate to states interact with cryptocurrency, nor do they have the power to crush this new field with a Congress never intended. So, in the lawsuit, the coalition of states contended that activities failed to meet the requirements outlined in the Howey test. That's very importantly to the dismissal of the Coinbase lawsuit immediately if this is accepted and this is voted on favorably. But again, this is not going for a vote. Just so you guys understand, it's not going for a vote. Nobody gives a shit about this. This is just, again, posturing by these guys. The lawsuit claims that the penalties and restrictions imposed on cryptocurrency platform without a clear regulatory framework have created substantial risk for one of the nation's rapidly expanding economic sectors. And Texas wants to be seen as a new crypto oasis. So first of all, I'm going to say yes, that I like the fact that this is happening, but the fact that Ken Paxton is just doing it because he wants a new job, to me, is kind of disgusting. But hey, guess what? If Scott Bessent can do it, so can Paxton, right? Moving on. Tron founder Justin Sun backs Trump's crypto with a $30 million bet. Now, this is how you buy elections, by the way. This, by the way, is you buy. If you're outraged at Scott Bessent, you better be outraged at Justin Sun. The founder of the Tron blockchain, Justin Sun, bought $30 million worth of WLFI tokens from World Liberty Financial. That move positions Sun as the majority holder of the Ethereum-based governance token. The investment is a big coup for the project, which lagged far behind early funding goals. The original was 300 million. And guys, they hadn't even done 5 million. Like, it was absolutely bonkers. Okay. Now, for those of you that are still saying that, they're like, oh my God, blah, 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 blah. And here, Sun's $30 million purchase single-handedly pushed the project over its goal today, but the target goal, 300 million down to 30 million. Okay. And by the way, it's ready to go. But here's the thing. World Liberty says that next year, a Trump LLP will get 75% of the net protocol revenues over 30 million. Sun's purchase will hand a Trump-associated entity $15 million. Justin Sun just gave Donald Trump $15 million. Now, are you not outraged? You better be, because you were just outraged at Scott Bessent for $7 million. Are you outraged at Justin Sun for $15 million? Because look, and by the way, the way the government works now, at least it's in the open. Like, at least it's in the open, I guess. This investment from Justin Sun further proves that the blockchain and cryptocurrency markets are attracting. He has recently been on the high profile by buying assets. His goal of growing blockchain correlates with the synergy of its growth to nerve. Now, I have this happening. First of all, get upset with Justin Sun, and just understand that all the government's on the take. This is nothing new. Donald Trump is no better or worse than anybody else when it comes to that. He's on the take just like everybody else. So whatever. You know what I mean? Also, Binance has delisted Gifto, IrisNet, Selfkey, OAX, and REN from all its trading pairs. So none of those, and all of those had either a 25 to 40% decline in price. So if you shorted those, shout out to you. Also, can Solana surge to $500? Now, remember, I gave you 300, and then I gave you 250 originally, and it surged to and then I said, by the end of the year, what did I give you for the end of the year? I gave you 260 for the end of the year on Solana, and we've already hit 260. We're at 264. So goal achieved in late November. So we got there a little bit early. Now the question is, what's going to happen next? Most likely, by the way, I'm going to tell you, shut up. I'm going to tell you, shut up. Stop. Shut up. I'm going to tell you exactly what's going to happen. Shut up. Whatever. Shut up. Anyway. So, all right. So make sure you hit the like button on the way in. Otherwise, otherwise you like DEI if you don't. So anyway, 60, which was the goal that by the way, I give you this the ultimate goal here was going to be 260 by the end of the year. Here we are at 260. What do I think is going to happen at this point? Now, the 400, I thought maybe we would get a shot at 400, but it looks like to me that maybe we'll get another pump up here. I don't know how this is going to react. I'll show you in a minute, but I think that the best reaction that we would get right here would be a pump up into maybe $300 range and then a dump back down, maybe even a big before we take off. And eventually, originally I told you, I think 520 is going to be the number in the bull run. I'm going to actually say that, maybe closer to 750 up here. I think that, when we maybe zoom out, ultimately, I think we're going to get up into this sort of range right here, right in, $750. So I think this is going to be a little bit higher. A lot of people really like Solana. So there we go. I think that it's going to happen. But shout out to everybody who invested based on my call on Solana earlier this year when we were on this gigantic dump way down here. And I said, this is probably what's going to happen. So you better get packing, biatch. And you did. This move right here, to test this line rapidly. So, and I think it's going to be the end of this, like towards the end of December, right around Christmas. That's when we're going to have that big test down here. And then boom, that's when the explosive move will start. And I'll show you the data on it in just a few minutes. So can Solana hit 500? I don't think right now, but I think ultimately not just 500 in the coming year. Again, I gave you 520 originally. I'm going to up it to 750 and say that I think that we can add a little bit more to this frame and 3x it from where it is. And by the way, right now, sitting at 109, if it goes up 3x to 327 billion, then it would still not be as high as Ethereum. So I think that it's really, really imperative to consider here that if Ethereum rips and goes to like 5,000 or 6,000, right? If it does that, then that market cap would be closer to $1 trillion. So in my estimation, Solana could potentially go to 1,000 or 1,250. You know what I mean? I'm just going to call it 750. But there's ability that Solana just absolutely goes bonkers. Fear and Greed is down to 79 right now, which is still a great number, so I wouldn't be concerned about that. MSI token, if you haven't already, you got to get yourself a bag of MSI. There's going to be something magical happening on this thing very, very soon. Again, there's all this stuff being built in the background. There's also this thing where, look, Pablo knows that this market is about to do what I'm going to explain to you in a few minutes. Make sure you hit the like button. I know what it's going to do, or at least I think I know what it's going to do. So there's no reason for some of these cryptos to go crazy right now. The time to go crazy was a month ago. And if you did, and you got a big pump out of it, shout out to you. But there's going to be a moment here when things are going to get absolutely bonkers crazy. Now, right now, when you zoom out on this and you look at it overall, then what you can't be anything but, like, this is about 5 days ago. I don't know that we've reversed because, this is still a lower low. So did we find the bottom was the question. And I thought right here, I told you that I thought maybe we had found the bottom right there and that maybe we would hang around and kind of test it. Now, I do want to close that out and say that we are still currently testing it, but unless it breaks back in here pretty aggressively and breaks out, then, we could be going lower. You know what I mean? Like, ultimately, it's still upwards, but, it still doesn't look like a full-on trend reversal. So I'm going to need to see another big surge and a break above this line right here. And this green here is going to have to be the one. We're going to need to see a surge above that. So let me trade this over here so you can see a little better. That green line right here has been your resistance for a while. If we surge above that, then I would have some confidence in it and I would call it. And I would say that, yeah, now we're confident that this is what's going to happen. But until then it's a good opportunity to accumulate. And right here, this is the range, by the way, of accumulation. So I would tell you this. I think that you can really see an absolute explosive move out of MSI if you buy right now in this range. Like, I think this is the range where you see another big spike. And by the way, that last spike right there, taking it up and dropping the zero, even though it wasn't held, even though it didn't maintain, I think that's going to be a little bit higher the next time, and then a little bit higher, and it's going to make its way up. So MSI, if you haven't, you certainly got to check that out. Also, this is my gold standard right here. There is a special DevvE AMA day at 5 p.m. UTC. We have a show up. It will be lit. Guys, I want to tell you, I don't know what this is, but if you ever listen to me when I tell you that I think something is about to have just a really, really nice explosive sort of move, I'm not saying it'll be this time, by the way. I'm not going to say that, but I am going to say that enter the stratosphere. So, if this is the start of it, if there's an announcement that happens to be for DevvE, I'm not going to say I told you so. I'm actually going to say I told you so. I'm going to say it a lot. You know what I mean? Wake up and it's 10x or 20x or something like that. Then there's going to be a whole lot of, man, this was going to happen. And by the way, I'm starting to, it may be the or something like that, but I'm starting to see that the connection is going again. So not sure, but the range on DevvE, which I told you we were going to do. Now the next step is to, and it got back up very quickly. Right here to 38 today, probably tomorrow, something like that. And then, the question is, what happens at that point? Do we get a breakout or do we not? When you zoom out and you start to look at the volume node and you look at the Ethereum, then you could certainly surge up into the 7 to 48, 49, 50 cent range. You're just going to have to, like right now, this is the volume node. Then there's another one right here at 35 cents. There's a little tag right there at 40 cents. And then boom, the next big move is to 48 cents. So if it breaks out, then I assure you, you're going to be one of the first group of people to know. But today, there's going to be something in Discord, and it may be the start of a real big move. So I don't know if it will or not, but if you haven't already, you might want to get yourself a bag of DevvE just in case today. And by the way, don't put too much risk on. Don't put too much risk. Just do whatever you can afford. If it's $100, put $100 in. If it doubles, you got $200. Take your $100 back out and let it ride. You know what I mean? If it does 100x, that's 10 grand. You know what I'm saying? It's super. Now, Coin, they also now. So on Radium, and I show you this. I can't show you because I don't have any. By the way, somebody tried to scam me again yesterday. Oh my God. They reached out for a partnership, wanted to try to scam me. And I was catching it, and I don't have any crypto on anything right now for them to steal. But they were going for it. And then they got mad at me when I was like, that's not right. What are you talking about? Bitch, please. Anyway, so Coin is down today. And let me show you right here, down to 1622. Now, so that, by the way, is when you look at it, there's not big sells happening. There's not a whole lot of gigantic sell-off that we've seen. You know what I mean? Like there really is not. It just, this pairing has not been favorable. I'm kind of scrolling down here so you can see that. I mean, I guess you can't see it right now. There's a lot of trade volume, but as you go down there, you'll start to find that there's no big sell-off. It's just that, Solana was ripping up into 250, 260, and it was creating a very good pairing opportunity. And that pairing opportunity kind of wore out. So that's the top right there. We'll get another big top coming very, very soon. Probably some consolidation in the range over the next bunch of days. But here's the thing. On Radium right now, you can provide liquidity. I am a big liquidity provider right now. I did put in. And by the way, I'm earning Gummy. I'm earning LFGO. Earning MG. And I'm earning fees from transactions. So I'm one of the largest liquidity providers in there. So shout out to me for knowing what's up. Now, it is my estimation that this volume is going to surge. The current volume is 14,000. this volume is probably going to be in the 150,000. And then whatever I'm making, probably 10Xs off of that. Again, this is not the time. This is your accumulation time. It's going to pump super hard soon. Okay. Just like everything else. So just, I don't know what your risk tolerance is, but right now this is the dip. And look at this thing. This is since the beginning, all it's done. All I do is win. All I do is win. Right. This, by the way, I'm not sure the move is done, but lower. There we go. It's going higher and it's going higher. Like we're on a path right now for another explosive breakout right here over the next few hours or days. I do think that there's another big breakout coming. It's a matter right now of volume. Get a little bit more volume going in here, get a little bit more trading going in here. And then the next thing you know, CC Coin going to have a big breakout. And by the way, I could use $1 million in volume. Believe that. So anyway, making sure you check out CC Coin. Also, we're not doing that one. Chedda is out here. Again, this is a meme coin, and most of these meme coins right now, it's down 30% on the day. Again, newer meme coins right now struggling just a little bit, but I gave you this move down here. It ripped up here. I told you to take your profit. If you listen to me when this happened, congratulations for being a genius and just listening to me. But then it came down into this range right here. Now let's move this out just a little bit because we got this buy starting to happen. Now, I don't know that that's the end of this, but when the market is ripe for it, boom, this thing is going to pop back up here, and that's going to be a 7x from where it is right now. So if you want an easy 7x, I'm telling you right now, Chedda is going to be the next one. Or you know what? It's not going to be the next one, but it will be one. It's going to give you an easy 7x. Market cap right now, only about 1.3 million. Liquidity, 165,000. So Chedda going to be another in the bangers of big plays. Now, as far as the broader market, look, if you see here on the right down below me right now, that is CoinW. I'm going to come over here and CoinW. Here's the referral. I'm going to put the referral. I've got 5 people who've been invited in. I'm going to give it to you right here. I'm going to ask you today, please sign up for CoinW. It is right there. Now, before we do that, I'm going to give you one more thing, just so you guys know, because, I'm not great at self-promotion. I'm okay with self-promotion, but I'm not great at it. I'm going to give you right now a link. And if you want to make what I think is some easy money, okay, all you have to do is go in here. This is my Telegram channel. I just put the link in YouTube. This is my Telegram channel. If you go in there and you sign up today and you make a deposit of at least $50 on CoinW, then you'll get access to my call channel. And I don't run the call channel. I've got it run by AI and professionals and a team of people. And that call channel will tell you your entry positions, everything you need to know about what is going to happen next. So sign up today and, help me out, because I'm moving away from KCEX because, they were referred to me by MEXC. And the more I hate MEXC, the more I think, KCEX, I don't think they're not the same company, but we're going to go with CoinW. CoinW, you know what I mean? We'll see. I did get Gary Gensler's resume. I will let you know. Maybe we're going to have like a dual podcast stream here where I get to ask Gary Gensler all the questions that nobody in their right mind would be asking. So let's start with Bitcoin right now. We're going to go in here. We're going to check it out. Look, the just gave you, by the way, is make this move right here. 88,000. Set a buy order if you are on CoinW. Then what you would do over here is you're going to use leverage. Now, what I would recommend is change your leverage down to at least 10. I don't like going above 10, but if you set it for 10x leverage, then go over here and see where this down right below me, you have a market order. and you have a limit order. So go set your limit order right here, 88,123. Set a limit order for 88,000. I don't know how much you're going to put into it, but set a limit order for 88,000. In the event that Bitcoin dips down to 88,000, which I think it's going to do, then you're going to now have a good position. And then I think Bitcoin next goes to 100,000. I don't think it goes below or very far below 88,000. Now, if you are uncomfortable with that, and you want to split your risk, let's say you're doing $100, then you would set it right now, and then you would set it for $50 USDT, right? You're going to set it for $50 right now. And then what you would do is when you're done with that, to mitigate your risk, go to 87,000 and set another $50 buy order using the same leverage, using the same everything. And then what happens is those transactions will then merge down here at the bottom. And then that would help you tremendously in making sure that just in case you've mitigated some of your risk and you've created a DCA strategy. Now, if that happens and you get a buy-in right here and it comes down into 87, there's an opportunity for another buy. Now you got $100 in at an average buy of like 87.5. If it goes up to 100,000, it's going to be an easy 150% increase, which would be $150 that you would make off of it. It's so simple. Okay. So for Bitcoin, I'm going to say set an $88,000 buy order right down in that range right there. For Ethereum, I think Ethereum is going to dip back down, and Ethereum looks primed for a move down to 2,900. So what I would do is I would come over here. You change right there to Ethereum. And we want the ETH USDT pairing, currently trading at 3,300. So again, you're going to set a limit order and you're going to set a buy for 2,900. My leverage on this would be, again, 10x, maybe 5x. You know what I mean? Because I think it's going to move harder. So bang, we're going to set a 5x here for 2,900, $50 in. Again, if you're uncomfortable with that, move it down to 2,800 and set another $50 buy, and those two will merge themselves on the way down if the price continues to dip a little bit. I don't know that it will dip, but if I'm looking at the chart, then it's telling me that this 0.5 right here, 2904, is your entry position. Now, when you look at this, you got to look at this and you got to be like, oh, shit. You know what I mean? Like, because this move right here should have come down into this range, but it didn't, which means there's a lot of buy sentiment right there. And then it came right back up and tested the top. Now, what did I tell you guys before? When it does stuff like that, the most likely play out is here, 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 back down here, maybe even down into here, and then a move back up, and then a move back down, and then boom, a new test of all-time high. That's what the trends have been showing for a little while. But this did not do that. This went from the top down to the 382, consolidated for a couple of days, and then broke back out to the top. That means that it's most likely going to break out and go to the top up here again. So I would be looking for this one to have a big time play. But I don't want to enter a position where the opportunity is I could just get wrecked as it comes down. So I'm going to set a buy order down here at 29, basically at 2,900. Again, you just come over here, you click on limit right there on futures, you put in your order at 2,900. And then just throw $50. And by the way, over the next couple days, I'm going to do 1,000 to 1,000,000 challenge is what we're going to do, and that's what this setup is going to be for. Over the next, I'm going to do $50 a time on every buy, but we're going to do some futures trading, and we're going to do it on CoinW. I'm going to take $1,000 and see if I can turn it into $1 million. That's what I'm going to do. So. That's why I'm pushing it. So if you want to get in there, by the way, if you look up here, let me show you, boom, 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 because what I will also end up doing is copy trading. So if you want me making your decisions for you, then all you have to do is follow me for copy trading, and we'll be doing this going forward. So that's what's going to happen. Now, for Solana, again, I think that Solana, I think Solana breakout was, let's, kind of zoom out here. We want to look at this on a weekly, right? And I don't care about this. I don't want to do that one. Boom, 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 boom. Get rid of that. Get rid of that. And by the way, there is a possibility of this thing coming back down into the 200 or 180 range for a retest here. But we should look at it from the impulse move. Impulse move appears to be, in my estimation, this right here. And it just came up into this sort of range right there. So it does look like the golden zone is going to be like 180, 190 right there. So what I would be doing is I would be setting a buy order right here at about $188. So I would come over here, set a limit for Solana. And we're going to set it at 189. And we're just going to do a little buy at that level and see what happens and see if it gets triggered. And if it does, if I'm worried about my risk, then I would go down here to, let's say, 170, and I would set another descending one for another 50 to get into it at that range. So that's what I would be looking for on Solana. So over the next couple of days, we're going to talk about a lot of different projects and where we'd be setting positions and stuff like that, especially for CoinW. And by the way, if you want to come over here, you can look at the memes. You can trade Bonk, you can trade Floki, you can trade Pepe, you can trade Rats, Sats, Shib, Doge, Nairo, which is the new one, People, and Dog with Hat. And then for Innovation Zone, you've got Ace, ACH, Avo, AI, Auction, Bake, BB, Big Times, Conflux, Dogs, Eigen, ENA, EFI, IO, Jitto, Jupiter, Lista, Magic, Manta, Metis, Mina Protocol. I think Mina Protocol is kind of dead, but NFP, NMR, Not, Omni, Ondo, One, Pixel, Pith, Radiant, Res, Saga, Psy. There's all kinds of different ones. They have a ton of different projects out here that you can do some risk on. And by the way, again, I think the market is about to dump. So let me finally, in closing, show you what I think is going to happen. And it's going to be in part here. So just so you understand, first, this is Bitcoin during the holiday season in 2020. So I think the same thing ends up happening. Shit. That's not what I meant to do. All right. So this big candle right here, right here. This is the one. Oops, we don't want weekly, we want daily. Haha. There we go. All right. So this big red candle right there, right here, that's Thanksgiving. Now, what we're seeing is we're seeing this playing out already. Here's Monday. Tuesday was a big green candle, and then we started dumping. We dumped Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, and then we started to pump up even higher. So what ended up happening here is we had this double top where we got a higher high the next time. Now, if we use that same logic for Bitcoin and we say that the same thing is probably going to play out, then we look at it from this context and we say, well, Bitcoin is right here right now, and it was at 99,611. If we do the same kind of double top, then what does it mean? It means that Bitcoin goes up to 101, 102,000, maybe even a little more aggressive, up into the 103, 104, if it plays out the same way that played out. So 88,000 buy orders, boom, 104,000, breaks through 100,000 over the next couple of days. There we go. That's what I think is going to happen. Now, here's where it gets tricky, and stick with me here, because now is not the time to get nervous. You're in it for the long haul here, baby. All right, so this is what happened to altcoins during that same period of time, and this is where it gets interesting, okay? So, again, the big red one right there, that big red candle right here, that is Thanksgiving. So this big Thanksgiving candle, and again, we got a surge over here on Tuesday, so we might get a surge today. Like, it'd be funny if we got a big surge here on Tuesday. So, and it's possible, by the way. But then from that point on, and you can look right here, and you can see there wasn't much difference here between. So what happened here was it surged late Tuesday, which again, it could do today. Surged on late Tuesday as people are just kind of getting into position. and then it suddenly dumps going into the holidays all the way down. Now, how much did it go down? That's the question that we want to answer. So the answer to that is 28%. So we had a 28% dump for Thanksgiving on altcoins. Now, here's the problem. After we had a 28% dump, what happens? We then pump up 30%. Okay, so we had another surge off of that to get back up into this range, but we had minted the descending channel, and we had a wedge pattern forming, and this is a bullish indicator. But then what happens is we get over here to the middle of December, and then in the middle of December, we broke out again, and we matched that top, and that's where we got that double top, right? Then we dumped super hard going into the holidays. This is the day before Christmas, and then Christmas Day and everything. We're just kind of sideways, but sort of up. Sideways, but sort of up. And look at the doji candles that formed. Okay, what we're having right here is a massive fight. Look at this. This is almost all doji candles. Right here, right here, right here, right here, right here, right here. And what does that mean? Extreme levels of volatility is what that means. We had these enormously volatile times at the end of the year. So I think that we're right here. I think that we're going to get a surge after the weekend. Then we're going to come back down. We're going to get another surge around mid-December. We're going to get a massive dump into Christmas, and then the bull run is completely on. That is exactly what happened in 2020. I would suspect that something, again, not the same, but similar is going to happen this time, okay? And I can't say with absolute certainty. I can't say that with absolute certainty that's what's going to happen, but that's what it looks like the last time. So we have no reason to believe that it's going to be different, okay? And that's it, guys. That's it. So if you haven't set yourself, get your positions, get yourself ready. Let's look at the final thing, and that is the flows on the ETFs. Yesterday were negative. We had outflows for the first time in a few days. 435 million, but we had 485 million in inflows the day before that. So we're doing good there. Ethereum outflows, none. We actually had massive inflows the last couple of days. And by the way, didn't eat up all of the negative that we had right there, but we're still positive 113 million overall on the Ethereum ETF flows. So we are in a better position and scenario today. By the way, let me show you what I got going on today. I'm going to give you guys a little bump, if you will. All right, so I don't know what this is going to do. All right, I have no idea how good, bad, or indifferent this is going to be. But I found one. They reached out to me for partnership, and what I think is going to happen here on Chill Santa, because it's brand new, is not going to be part of dump and pump or anything like that, because it's a micro cap. But what I do think is going to happen is 140,000 market cap, 47,000 liquidity. It had what I just told you was the move here, then the move back to the 786, the move to the 236, the move back down into this range. Now it looks like it's consolidating for a reversal. So now it's going to move up here into this 2400. So I think it's an easy 2x from where it is right now, at least. But then the question is, will it break out? And the answer to will it break out, I think, is yes. And I think it's going to, because it's Christmas time and it's Chill Santa. So I'm going to put this was a pump fun. I'm going to put this into the chat. You guys can do your own risk assessment right there. Now, I received $75 in Chill Santa tokens in order to make this video. Normally I charge at least $400, but I did it for a friend. And the friend said that, friend said, hey man, would you do this video for me? And I was like, sure. So, and by the way, when I did the video, it had less holders. So it's adding new holders as we speak right now. So this one is going to potentially be a big move. Now, the other one that I have, and I don't talk about it, but I did make a video on it, was called OG, and it's called Green. It's got less liquidity, and it's a micro cap. 84,000 liquidity and 14,000 over here. It's got 83 holders. It's nothing for these things to go to 1,000 holders, right? And that's an easy 10 to 50x from where it is right now. So I would think that you might see in the next little while you might get an opportunity here for a nice little pump happening on OG. So if you haven't, you can certainly check that one out. I'll put the link down here as well. There you go. Okay, so, and by the way, these are risk-based plays. These are plays that were given to me from somebody who said, you know, hey, would you do this video or something like that? And I said, yeah, I want your tokens. I don't want, you know, let's look at the bull market. This thing, it has a pairing with wrapped Ethereum. So if Ethereum explodes, this is going to explode too. So I don't lose. There's a lot of different ones out here where you don't have anything to lose. What happens if the one that I just gave you, what happens if I'm right and Solana explodes, right? Well, Chill Santa's going to go along with it. If Solana goes up to 400 and it doubles, then this thing's going to go up at least 50%. So, you know what I mean? Like, I don't stand to lose anything off of it. So, and also there was another one that I'm in, and that is the raccoon, which was, remember, Peanut and TEMA were the two animals that got murdered by the Democrats. Were taken from their families in order to be put down because it's so dangerous to have a squirrel and a raccoon. Anyway, fuck those guys. You know what I mean? Fuck those guys. So what is it doing? It did what I just said, impulse move. Then it came back down. Then it came back into, by the way, shit, I did it wrong. It impulse move, right? Came down into the range, bounced back up to 236, came back down, got a fake out test. The market's not been positive, but then it started to break out right here. Now they've got an exchange that they're announcing on, I think it's Thursday, or the exchange is announcing it on Thursday. So there will be, they do have a new exchange coming. It's going to be their first. And I think that will increase their volume quite a bit. But if you look at their volume right now, 333,000. And again, 1.3 million market cap. This thing could very easily, if sellers step away, then you might look at TEMA and you might see this thing absolutely stun. You know what I mean? And go to a 10 million, 15 million, 20 million market cap. So I don't know what's going to happen, but I know their socials are updated, and you know they've done everything that they could possibly do. Also, don't forget, I gave you this one a while back. I'm going to remind you of it. TARS AI. I started making videos on this back in October. Back in October, it was way down here. It was at 11 cents, 12 cents, I think, went up to 30 cents. It's up 150% from when we started talking about it. Take your profit, take your initial investment out, ride your moon bag. I think it's going to continue to move. It's got a market cap now of 148 million, probably 3 to 5 billion. I was, let me tell you a quick story, which is absolutely crazy. I am not a celebrity. There's no such thing in my brain that I am a celebrity. Okay. But every once in a while at the gym, people notice me and they know that it's me. One of the guys at my gym walked up to me yesterday and asked me if I've ever seen TARS AI and what do I think about it. And I told him to go watch my videos because he knows who I am. He just doesn't watch my videos. And he's not really a big crypto bro. He's more of a stock market bro. And I said, yeah, listen, I gave that call at 11 cents. It's trading at like 30 cents right now. He's like, oh, you did? So look, I'm not saying I'm going to be right every time. But you got to watch the videos. You got to see what I see because you never know. And by the way, you got to take your profit responsibly. Remember, your goal when you're making these plays, when you're making these moves your goal is to take $100 or $1,000, turn it into $200 or $2,000, and then take your $1,000 or $100 back out. You let it 2x, and then you take your original investment out, and then you leave your moon bag in. And if it goes crazy, then you win gigantic. Okay, but you protect your money in the meantime. So yeah, it was a weird thing where somebody just walks up to me and says, "Hey, what do you think of TARS AI?" I've been talking about it for 2 months because he said, "I'm thinking about investing in it." And he's like, "Do you think it could do, what's the market cap? What do you think it can do?" And I told him, 2 to 3 billion would be my market cap. And he's like, "Ooh, that's an easy 10, 15, 20x. I think so. But it's already 2.5x if you just paid attention in the beginning. So anyway, if you haven't already, buy yourself some TARS AI. It's the only AI coin that the Solana Foundation has funded so far. And I think that means something massive, in my opinion. But I don't know. I'm just a monkey doing this stuff. By the way, tomorrow, again, should be a lot better on the stuff. Speedy, I think Speedy's going to explode too. I think Speedy is just like Turbo. So I think that Speedy is going to be one of those that Speedy is struggling right now, by the way. When you look at it overall, it's having a tremendous little struggle at this point, but it's in a pretty good position for it's right now sitting at the spot where you would expect a big time reversal. Let me show you the chart real quick. So there's your consolidation spot, and that's where you are right now. So I would expect to see a big move coming. When you look at what I told you guys before, again, the narrative, then it had the big surge, and then it came back down, but then it surged again. Remember, just like the other one, but it dumped super hard because it didn't continue. However, Speedy, I think, is going to get a lot of different exchanges over the next little while. Just like Turbo. Remember, Turbo ended up being $1 billion market cap. I think Speedy probably does the same thing or gets close to it. So, yeah, that's it. All right, guys, time's up. You guys have a good day, and we will talk to you again very, very soon. Remember, Thanksgiving dump is happening. Donald Trump has won the 2024 election and will be your president, the first pro-crypto president. Bitcoin currently trading at around $87,000. This is the ideal moment for effective management of your own investment portfolio. Since 2019, Cryptonomy has experienced exponential and substantial growth, with revenue closing near 2.4 billion euros and insurance coverage of up to 6.1 billion on all company assets. Now listen, guys, the big move here for me, in my fixed staking pool, I'm going to go all in on a little bit more XRP. I've got 5,900 XRP right now. I'm going to go into the 9-month for 71% return. We're going to continue. We stayed close to 6,000 XRP just now with a 71.8% return over 9 months. This launch pool is blowing up. As you can see right here, OpenServe just went 7x. Getting a significant yield off of that. We got 1.9 on Satoshi Dex. We had a 2.58 on Tap Protocol, 2.1 on Talent, 3.1 on Cross. All right, guys, we're going 10 Ethereum into a bronze tier contract end date November 12, 2025. I expect to make a return of at least a decent amount, 50% profit sharing. When we got that last one, it was 7x. So I'm going to assume here that this is going to be a real good play. If you haven't already, don't forget myself, Dean DCA, Lift Capital, Aaron Burke, we're all doing articles for this organization. So if you are interested in learning a little bit more about cryptocurrency, then this is the place to go. You want to go to Cryptonomy.finance/research. Also, if you haven't already, sign up for their Telegram. The links are in the descriptions down below. And in the next 2 weeks, there's going to be a couple of big updates brought to you by all of us regarding Cryptonomy.finance. Start investing now.